Hello, it's Joe. I'm not doing album picks right now, but I am gonna go through what my guitar gear and stuff, all my guitars and the gear I use, um, and yeah, go through that. Actually, the first thing I want to do as my gear is my laptop, which is actually the thing it's recording on. Um, that's something I use. It has a so I use like programs on there for recording music. So yeah, I'll call that my one of my instruments. And I got a mic that's plugged into this laptop, and then I have this mic, which is plugged into a speaker behind me. I'll show you the speaker in a second. I also have one because I'm also going to show you an amp. I also have my amp set up over here as well, so I'll show you that here in a second. I gotta adjust the camera. Might be hard here. So yeah, that's the you see that thing's the mic thing. There's my amp. It's a Black Star HT Club 40 Mark II. Down there somewhere I have all my effects pedals. And that's what I use for all my guitar stuff. I gotta put myself back in frame now. But yeah, that's the stuff I use when I'm plugged in. And then I'm gonna go through all my guitars because I have a good amount of guitars and stuff. So I'm gonna start with my number one. I gotta go get it because I was lazy and I didn't feel like setting this up right next to it, which I should have, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I got guitar number one here. It's an Epiphone SG. I don't know what kind of SG it is. It's just an Epiphone SG. It's got two humbuckers, one tone knob, one sound knob, toggle switch that goes back and forth between them. They all sound kind of. I always have my tone knobs rolled off, so this is actually rolled to 0. It actually provides a bassier tone. Sounds better for me. I like it. Nice neck. It's nice and thin, so it doesn't feel super thick, although it is neck heavy, so if it'll do that, it'll basically fall down from where you are. But it's nice. Yeah, that's my SG. Got the sort of Les Paul style headstock, and yeah, it's a thinner guitar than a Les Paul though. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to show you what a Les Paul is, because I have one. So this is my other guitar. This is my Les Paul. It's actually a limited edition custom shop from Epiphone. I didn't know that. I didn't originally buy this guitar. I bought this from someone else who, had a problem with the output jack here, and I ended up fixing it and soldering it together. So I can do that on like guitars and stuff. So if you, I don't know, need help with stuff like that, I'll do it. Of course, I'll do it for like, I don't know, $5. I don't know what to charge for it. It takes like 10 minutes, and then you have to let it dry or like let it set. So yeah, two humbuckers as well. They're sort of they have like plates over them, unlike the other one. Sounds, I don't know what it actually does for the tone, I just know that generally it sounds like I don't know, darker, not as bright. It's brighter when the little covers on these are off, and you'll see that on some of. I don't have one, but there are other ones, and I took the pick guard off. There's a pick guard that's supposed to go here. I'll show you that in a little bit, but yeah, I don't have one. I don't like it. I didn't like it, so I took it off. Um, and yeah, same neck style as the SG, same headstock, so same thing. It's basically the same guitar. Still a bit heavier though in the body here. This is a little bit heavier than this, and it's not super neck heavy. I mean, it falls down a little bit, but that's generally because of where I located the strap and because the strap got tangled here a second ago. But yeah, it's pretty nice. You got your toggle switch, you know, to go in between your pickups and stuff. And it's got you have two tone knobs. So you got a tone knob for this pickup and a tone knob for this pickup, sound knob for each pickup. So that's more of like a Les Paul thing, is having the four. It's also on SGs, but my SG doesn't have it because it's an Epiphone SG. Those are kind of cheaper. I mean, that was like, what, 200? This was like, I don't know. I bought it for resale value. You can't see any of the details, but it's kind of worn on the neck and on these little covers here. They've definitely been sweated on, or like oil has been on them a lot. So yeah, nice guitar. This is in C standard tuning, so it's for low guitar playing. Good for the sleep riffs. Yeah. And then I'll go to my next guitar here. Then we have my other Les Paul, which is actually a J Turser Les Paul. That's what that is up here. It says J Turser. It's a JT220. That's what it is. But it's the same sort of neck, headstock. I mean, pretty much all the stuff is the same as a Les Paul. It's the same as the other one, but instead it's in like a, I don't know, cherry burst, I want to say. And yeah, same idea with the two tone knobs, two volume knobs, switch, yeah, that sort of thing. The only difference being the tuners. The other one had these sort of like Grover tuners. And I don't know if those lock or not, but I think they are supposed to. But these are just like regular tuners. Yeah. And this is in C sharp standard, so it's slightly higher than the other Les Paul, and is good for playing Black Sabbath riffs, because that was sort of that's the Black Sabbath tuning, as I call it. And then we move on to my next guitar. I'm tired. And then we have this little stinker. It's a Stratocaster. Actually, it's a Starcaster, but it's a Fender Starcaster Strat. You know, Stratocaster, so it's in the style of a Strat. So you got 3 pickups here instead of 2, which are on the other ones. You got, these are single, these are double coil, so there's a little bit more hum on these. These are brighter than this. Actually, this is brighter than these because this is in the neck position. If this or in the bridge position, if this were in the neck position, this would be darker, but it's brighter because of that, I think. Or at least that's the way it's like sort of hooked up. I haven't changed the strings or any of the hardwiring on this since I bought it, and this was like $73. This is just like a guitar store grab. You have 3 knobs. You got your volume, your tone, and your other tone. And this has a 5-way switch, so you can kind of go between this one, and this one, and this one, and then just this one, I believe. And the other exclusive is it has a whammy bar, so you can push down on that to make your dives and stuff. And it's in black, so it's black. A little bit of a different neck. It's thicker. I don't like it as much. It's thicker, and it just plays weird sometimes. Also, another thing I kind of hate about buying the guitar store ones is that the actual action of the bridge is too high, which means it's technically hard. It's making it harder for you to play. But this one, it's not too bad. I fixed some of the action problems on it, so it's already kind of better. So yeah, that's the electric. This one's an E standard, so it's in your basic standard tuning. Play, I don't know, any chord on it. Just play a G chord, whatever. Yeah, normal guitar. It's pretty standard. It's like a beginner guitar that you use, but not really. Yeah, and then I'll move to my next guitar. Oh, I also have another one of these. I'll bring it out later. And I have comments on that one that I want to make. That's gonna be, yeah, different from this one. So now we're moving into a different territory here. This is actually it's an SG style bass. So SG sort of body looking thing, and neck, because it's definitely the stuff of an SG. It is definitely neck heavy. But similar things. I actually strung this side up wrong, so this side is messed up a little bit on the strings, but that's fine. I've dealt with it. 1 pickup, 1 tone knob, 1 volume knob. It's very basic, and you just play bass. And this is in D standard, which I don't know if many people downtune basses, but I did because I thought it would be funny or really fun. It works because my other SG is also downtuned to D standard, which is only like a whole step down. If you know music theory, it means you have E, and you have E flat, and then you have D. So it's like a decrease in pitch by a whole step. So that way your E is actually like up here now. It just moves the location and it lowers the pitch. And now we'll go to my next one, which isn't actually a guitar, but you'll know in a second. And my next one isn't a guitar. It's a banjo. I have a banjo. Yes. I don't play that much. No, it's a banjo. It does its basic thing. It's open on the backside. It has this pole here. So usually some banjos are closed, but mine is open, and I have a 5th string, so I have an extra string here. So it's a 5-string banjo. You got they're small tuners and smaller neck, and it's basically like a snare drum with strings on it. The tuning for this is an open G, I want to say. So like you have G for this extra string, D, G, B, D, and you can just strum it and it would play a G chord basically. So yeah. On to my next one. Generally, when I'm recording, these guitars don't always get used. Generally, the bass always gets used because I don't have any other bass. And then any acoustic stuff, it's between this and my other acoustic. Because this is actually a classical guitar. Um, it's a Cordoba C3M. I don't know what that means because I have had this since I was a freshman in high school, and I'm a senior now. So 4 years. Little bit, little bit longer, but yeah. It's got a thicker-ish neck, as in like, or I guess I should say wider, not thicker, wider neck. So it's a different size. The tuners are backwards here, are facing this way now, and these, this is how you string the strings up. They're actually strung on these little poles here, and yeah, and so yeah, I've had this for a while, and I've actually done some modifications on it. I actually put a thing here so I can put strap on it, and here so I can put a strap on it, and I have a pick holder. So this is more my classical stuff, but it is tuned also to D standard. Sometimes it's also in E flat standard. It depends on the song that I need it for, really. So yeah, that's what this is. It's my classical guitar, so nylon strings, different from electric. You can't plug it in anywhere. Yeah. Now to my next guitar, which is really old. This is my very old guitar. It's a Yamaha FG75. I don't know how long we've had it. It's been here for like forever. I mean, you can tell because the binding's breaking at points, and yeah. And then I did the same thing I did last time. It had one of these already, and then I just put another little strap thing here to make it able to have the whole strap. I do have the strap higher on the thing. It's a normal neck. It's not wider or anything. Normal headstock for this. It's basically just your average acoustic guitar. This is probably older than me. I don't know what the story of this is. I'd have to ask, but I've had this for a while, and the only way you can actually record any of this is actually by putting it up to the microphone. So, like you have to put it up to it like that, and up to the sound hole, and then like play in and like pick up any signal in this mic. And yeah, unlike the other stuff where you can just plug it straight into the amp, this is So this one and the classical have to be mic'd specifically, and there's that. And this is also an E standard. This is an E standard, so it's normal tuning. Yeah, normal tuning. You just play a normal. This is your normal guitar, average acoustic guitar. And now that I've got to it, I'm gonna go grab the other electric guitar that's a Stratocaster. But yeah, those are my main guitars. You can tell which ones have similar tunings, which ones I play more. Like, I play this and the Stratocaster together more because they're both in the same tuning, and then I'll play the bass with the classical with the SG because those three are all in the same tuning. And then with the two Les Pauls, I mostly just use them for other stuff. I will say when I wrote March to War, I did write that on the Les Paul that's a custom shop, so the silvery looking one. And yeah, that one is in C standard. So yeah, that's why that song is so low and so hard to hear. Yeah, let me grab the other guitar now. Actually, I have to walk across the camera frame to get to the other one. Here's this guitar, the Stratocaster. This thing has gone through like everything. This was actually my brother's first guitar, and then I took it because he got the Les Paul, and I bought it off of him, the J Turser one. He also had the other one, but I bought the J Turser one off of him, and the other one I fixed, and yeah. So this thing is really old. The action is crappy, so bad that like even hiring it, it doesn't matter because once you get to the 12th fret, it stops being able to sound like anything but the 12th fret. So yeah, very crappy. The neck is also bent on the back, so it's really badly done. I took the little guard off of here. I had to replace screws here and here, some over here, and like the neck is like off-centered, so there's like a actual little crack in here specifically between there, and there's a crack between the neck and the actual body, so it's really crappy. The sound thing doesn't even work anymore. This doesn't work. I messed with it, and it just doesn't hook up at all. And it's got these actual like other screws that I put inside of it instead, which honestly I'd rather have because it looks kind of Frankenstratish, but it's really crappy. This is replaced. It was a replaced pickup selector because the other one was terrible and it had to be replaced, so it just didn't work. And then when I wired it up, it didn't work right, so I just ended up giving up on it. Has 3 of the normal pickups though, so these were all like single coil pickups, and yeah, it has a whammy bar, but I have it on my desk. And then what else about it? I've done some things to this. Oh yeah, and then this is a volume knob, but it's missing the actual knob, and then here's 2 tone knobs, and yeah, this tone knob is actually broken. The inside actually came out with it, so it doesn't even work anymore. Like, it comes out with the knob. So yeah, the actual knob itself is like broken. So this guitar is junk, doesn't work, and has been around for a while. Some of these have fallen off, actually. Some of the tuners have fallen off, so it's a very bad guitar. That's why I bought the other one to replace it, because it's just like, okay, I can't do, because you can't do anything to this to actually fix it, because it's basically worth a whole new guitar to fix. So I bought a new guitar. And then, if you'll give me a minute, I'm gonna go grab the pick guard for the Les Paul so I can show that to you. Yeah, it's just this thing. This goes on the Les Paul. So it's like, here's that neck pickup, here's the bridge pickup, and you just slide it in between on there. And it has like a little thing. I didn't grab the rest, but yeah, I don't like pick guards except for on my SG, because without it you'd see all the inside. But yeah, that's what this is for. Yeah. Also, I forgot, and I just noticed this while looking at it, but on this crappy thing, one of the tuners actually came out. This is not a tuner. This is actually just a random bolt that has a nut on it, and it doesn't even wind with the actual thing. So it doesn't move. It's just so I could wind a string around it. And I do have one string on it that's an acoustic string that is from a set of strings that's I already used. So this is just a leftover string that I had to get rid of. So I was just like, all right, I'll throw it on here. So it has one string. But yeah, so that's all my guitars. That's my gear and stuff. Yeah, and on my Black Star, all the clean tones are at like not 15. It would be like 45 on a clock, and then all my overdrive stuff is just it's just all turned on the amp. It's all turned up, and then I control the overdrive on the actual pedals, and I control the tone from there. So yeah, that's where all that is. Yeah, so those are my guitars. I use them. That's how I record and make music and stuff. And yeah, that's my gear. So yeah, if you want a review, cool. If you don't, I don't care. If this video was just a waste of your time, cool. You probably only watched 5 seconds of it. Awesome. I gotta edit this later. Goodbye.